Okay, I want to call the Scituate Waterways Commission meeting to order for July 11th, 2018. Any acceptance of the agenda for this evening?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and has everyone had a chance to look at minutes from last meeting?
Yeah, great job, Dan, thank you.
Okay, all in favor, accept the minutes from the June 6th?
Aye.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I don't have, David, what?
No.
Raising hand. I don't have a whole lot to say, I don't do remarks, but we did go to a meeting with Nancy Durfee and the CLE, Christine Claire, a couple of weeks ago, just to show our support for the dredging project down the river. So we officially got on the record that, you know, that we are behind it. Hopefully it's going to move along. Stephen, harbor master report?
It was a pretty good season. The marinas are in good shape. I ordered at the end of the year, there was some money, and I was able to buy some new wire for ADOC that was undersized. We discovered that in the electrical engineer's condition report. So I bought the correct size. It's in the garage at the harbor master's office. That'll be replaced in the fall. We also made some other corrections to some of the wiring connections under this building, which should help the DIC project. Remember last year when we were to low voltage? So hopefully those two corrections are going to solve some of that problem. We replaced the fencing around the dumpster area, Cole Parkway, Marina office. We're going to be putting up a fence around the dumpster over here. That dumpster is going to move to the other side of the sailing building. Get it out of the way and make it a little bit more presentable around here. We've been getting the plantings, all the plants in order, and making the place look as presentable as possible. Keep that was clean. I think the guy at the maintenance staff is doing a great job. We got the pump out boat back. It needed quite a bit of work on the engine itself. $3,600. There was a lot of the top end of the motor almost had to be replaced with just cage. So, but I was able to get that some reimbursement. I think 75% reimbursed through the state.
Is this going to do the work on that?
No, we send that down to Bayside because it's just difficult getting the parts and you know they're the Honda dealer. They do Yamaha or Suzuki here, so we sometimes
You
have.
can trailer that road?
Pump
Yeah.
That's only 21.
21 feet, yeah.
We have a trailer.
Yes. Lots of trailers.
Steve, I noticed in your capital plan to replace the pump and boat sometime in the next few years.
Yes.
Your intent rather. So what's this do to the lifespan of the boat? This 3,600 is the Band-Aid on a...
It's just a Band-Aid on, you know, the motor either needs to be replaced, but it was, what was happening up at the, on top of the motor, there was like seawater spraying out all over the roof, so we were able to make the repairs necessary to keep it alive for another year or so, possibly 2 years. But it's it's tired. It was, when I understand, it was tired all the time. Right, it was bought as a used boat. It was the town of Somerset owned that boat prior to us. Actually, I just got that boat came here before I got here, and I discovered that it was not registered trailer. The trailer was actually still registered to the town of Somerset. We've since corrected that. It's not registered to
What was
the
that
town
was
of Somerset.
saying?
You don't want to tape that part.
And we got some of the other corrections on some of the trailers because I discovered some of the other ones weren't registered. But we're still working on that.
Okay.
That is an issue. should be back this week.
I'll come back to it,
Yes.
yeah. What'd you have done on that?
It had some damage. It was, one of the staff was, there was a fire call up in the South River.
Yeah.
And we had 2 firefighters on board. And when they were going in the South River, a boat came at them, pushed them out of the channel, even though they were ready to
Yeah.
push out, and
Yeah,
nothing good comes of that.
yeah.
So just some rocks.
Yeah. So there's some insurance, it was an insurance project.
I see, yeah.
Was it fiberglass or engine?
Engine.
Engine?
Any progress on the new boat, as I was talking to SW?
Yeah, I've been talking, I was actually on the phone with them yesterday, been on the phone with the New Jersey Marine Unit, and New Jersey DMF and Rhode Island DMF also bought boats from there to find out, their thoughts, just, what to do, what not to do, what they've run into, and had nothing but really good things to say, and I had them send me up their spec, just to review it, to see if we can see what, we can come up with something.
Comparable size? What do we do?
They both got 36s. Ours, we in the price range we're at is a 34. I mean, there's other manufacturers out there, H&H, there's a bunch of different companies, so we just go out to public bid.
Pump out boats,
Pump up boats,
pump out, back to pump out.
yes.
Now that you're operational, I don't think that Harbor Moorings pump out boat is operational.
Okay.
Is there any chance the town can send a boat down to the river?
I can try to make arrangements for that, obviously it'd be weather dependent as well. But it's gonna need it, so yeah, it's gonna have to be done.
Yeah, so Keith had passed out pink flags and he just hung them on Sunday night on the pink flag and he went around and pumped it.
He's giving a rap or something?
Is he done?
I don't know, I know that they're not, I haven't seen the boat down there.
I know he had a motor issue,
Yeah,
and I talked to Cecil at the, Cecil French who runs,
DMF,
the Clean Water.
CBA.
Clean Vessel Act.
Hmm.
And I told Keith what he needed to do to get them to replace the motor. All he has to do is have a mechanic,
Say
say
that
that
it's
it's
down.
condemned,
Hmm.
and they'll replace it. It wasn't real.
On my second motor, I had no trouble getting replacements.
Yeah.
It works out real well with those guys.
Yeah.
They were a little short of money this year, but they were still able to get my $3,600 in under last year.
Brian, is there money in it to run a pump out boat? I mean, can you make money?
No.
No, it's
It's 75-25 split. CBA pays 75, the operator pays 25.
To run the boat?
Right.
You
To
can't charge
operate.
anybody to,
No.
no, so it's just a broad service.
So by about the third week of running it, you're already in the red.
Yeah.
It's a, I love clean water project. It's not something you're gonna make me money.
No.
Yeah, he gets goodwill from, he's down there.
And his customers obviously too, they need a lot of service and stay in touch with them and all that.
I probably would good for that, but it's mainly because, there's a real need to keep service.
You want to keep everything clean.
Get 2 boats an hour.
What if you do an email or something and do some sort of flag, and if you were interested, if you had that capacity, for Sunday afternoon or something, send it out Friday if you want them.
Oh, it would be part of the flag system.
Yeah.
To be, why reinvent the wheel?
Most of the ones that I do are scheduled. We do them every
We just,
Every Sunday, every Monday.
they call,
Tuesdays, during the week, so.
because my maintenance guy is out there all day long, just doing pump-outs.
So, yeah, I mean,
It'd be more of a schedule that, like a Sunday night. But I want to check with Keith, I don't want to go down and dig,
yeah,
I don't want to break something that's not broken.
yeah, and I just haven't seen his boat around, so, and I've seen pink flags up like all week, and
Yeah.
usually, like I said, they're up there on Monday,
Yeah.
and, that's all.
All right,
I'll follow up with Keith, I guess,
okay,
get in touch with you,
all right.
thank you.
The marina project? We got a grant from well, we received an additional grant, I think I talked to everybody about it, the last meeting. Additional funding we did receive from the Commonwealth.
Well, the Lieutenant Governor's coming down, so we're pretty sure we're going to get.
We got the money.
Right.
We did get the money, and then I got an additional $27,000. I had applied for a ADA grant, and the dog park originally got the grant. They couldn't use it. They called me and asked me if I could still use the money, and I said, absolutely.
And you used it last year?
We did. We ordered. I ordered the gangway. So gangways.
So we get
The
into the
gangway came out to $46,700. It's on order. You should probably here in the fall. You have to send out engineering drawings back, and all the other information has to go through our consultant to make sure it's everything's correct.
So what's the status of the permitting? Final now?
No, we're very close. We're working things out. Like I said, the last meeting between some town council and, and other.
So that extra money would pay for what? What was that extra grant?
The additional funding would be for things that came up on the condition report that weren't, when we originally went into it,
Right.
we looked at everything that we could see.
Right.
And
And that was one.
well, that we could see that we needed. And then as the consultant went through, we hired people to come in and take a look at different things. They found additional issues that have to be, rectified before we can, continue on the project. So that's what that additional funds.
And how much was it? I can't remember.
It was about, I think it's 280,000.
Yeah.
So here we are, effectively August 1st. Within the next month, I would think we'd have to have documents together, go out to bid, have a start.
We can't do anything until we get that.
I know, but I mean, once that turns, is it pretty quick to put documents together? to
We
send out?
should be
Yeah.
pretty quick at that.
So that September is hopefully bid month, award month, and then October 16th, or 18th, whatever day,
Yeah. So that's where we're at with the project. I did bring some drawings. They really haven't changed a whole lot since, nothing's been updated until we come up with the boundaries.
Yeah, there's still a 50% or something like that.
Yeah.
If you want copies of it.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Steve, how about the sign, the entrance to the highway?
I ordered a float, and that we could get the price back from the sign person, and that should be.
Not the sign. Not, who did I bet you? This is it?
No, this will be a wooden sign with vinyl letters.
That's- How big did you think?
The float is 6 by 8,
Big.
and the sign will probably be like 8 feet high, about 3.5 feet
About
high.
halfway down the jetty, you think?
Not sure. It's going to be where the, no wait,
Or-
police.
You might want to,
Yeah,
you might want to think about bringing that in closer to the
To
numbness right there.
Yeah.
Further in,
Yeah.
put it inside the jetty, because that's what protects a lot of it from those,
storm.
Oh, that's what it's like, right?
Yeah.
it's like inside it, like north of, not saying.
But not to replace the no wait, right? I mean,
Yeah.
otherwise you have people screaming in.
And it's going to say, welcome to town of Scituate. Headway speed is 6 miles an hour, no discharge. And then we'll have the town, Channel 9, have the town of Scituate website with the / or / harbor master, so it brings you to the harbor master website.
So to pay for it, Steve, are we still putting advertising around the outside?
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that plan was still there.
No, that's good, so you get some progress on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's been ordered.
The wood that you're gonna use for that, for the sign, you guys gonna seal it with epoxy or something?
I'm not sure, I haven't gotten that far with the sign guy to see what he wants on the wood itself, but it would be some sort of like marine plywood.
Use marine plywood to seal with epoxy and then paint it over it.
It should be
Seal the
appropriate.
water.
I don't want to like doing things twice, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's,
The consultant's proposal for shellfish, I have that, I sent it out to everybody.
Yeah, I got that, yeah.
I did see it, yeah.
So if anybody in the audience wants a copy of it. Thank you.
Just a quick question on the gangway or the marina project. How long is the current gangway?
The current gangway, I think it's about 30 feet now.
This one's 85?
80. 80. And the gangway is going to go, right now, you have a 20 or 25 foot long pier. That will be removed, and the gangway is going to attach directly to the seawall. The new gangway will land probably about 3 or 4 feet further down than the present gangway. It'll be centered on the wall itself, so you have equal distance on either side. So it'll be like 5.5, 5, 5.5. How are you?
the way this new gangway is gonna sit, do you want to do something with maybe one of the kids, maybe it's too late this summer, obviously, to do it, but with the new design, maybe you want to do like a experimental aquaculture type.
Yeah, we're still in
That's
discussion.
next summer.
Yeah. That's something.
After
we're
the
looking
unit's built, then maybe. Excellent.
for.
Money all in?
Yeah.
I mean, how many people, mortars and all that are late or
We had
dumped? or-
25 that were late,
Yeah.
25 that didn't pay, and the 25 that were late, they paid the late fee.
And 25 didn't pay, got food.
We reassigned them more.
Excellent.
And Mike Pierce has been working feverishly, reassigning mooring. I don't think there's a whole lot available other than some that we may be able to.
If you're in the whole lot, just doing a good job keeping up.
Yeah. So we're in really good shape.
I had a question, going up past the spit, under the 3A bridge, okay? On the right side, are those Scituate? So how many do we have, do you have any estimate?
You have to go, you know.
So, Eric's or Marshfield's are on the other side, right?
Yeah, there's an imaginary line.
It's a midpoint in the river, Steve?
Same thing in South River?
Yes.
A lot of those are 10-8 floats.
Yeah. Which are still, you know,
Right.
growing,
You can
But
get
it's
some
still-
more.
They don't, there's not a lot of movement
Yeah.
in ownership.
Mm.
It's involved in 125 per.
And how's the banding? Are we,
we haven't started that yet.
but we'll be fully banded this year, I would think? At the end of the time every morning is full this year, it should be banded.
Yeah, that'll be banded.
So the harbor and all 4 rivers?
We band,
They go to the Gulf, right?
we go every, no, we don't actually go up there.
Okay, so the herring south and north, yeah, right?
The,
Your side, that
all
is.
the principals, yes.
Now, is Marshall band on their side?
I don't know, I'm not sure what he does.
Okay.
I have trouble keeping track of myself.
We know that.
So,
Actually, can I back up to the aquaculture study?
sure.
So I couldn't remember, is this already something you put in for?
No, I just put it on the capital plan as,
Yeah.
you know, it's just something down the road. It doesn't have to be this company, it could be another company, it could be just us.
Yeah.
It was just something I thought the town should, you know, in my opinion, commercial agriculture is good.
Yeah.
Good for the town, it's good for
Environment.
good for the environment, cleans up rivers, cleans up
Right.
waterways.
Yeah.
But you have to have a plan, just like zoning, you have to have a plan in place in zoning.
Yeah, sure.
So that the people that come in and take up these grants actually work these grants, so they're not just taking up grants to take up the space, so to block out their competition.
So that was one of my questions, actually. So when I read through the thing, I didn't see anything that kind of said that the study actually kind of gives you the,
What this does
yeah,
is, this is what the town of Falmouth did, and the town of Falmouth actually licensed all the grant locations.
okay,
And then the town of Falmouth sub-assigns or subleases to the commercial growers.
The money's still controlled, right? Like,
The business owner runs his business separately,
yeah,
but the town would go out and they would apply for the grant, get the grant location, and let's say it's 10 acres.
yeah,
And Fran wanted to come in and grow shellfish.
yeah,
And he presented a proposal to the town, and the town would say, okay, Fran, you can have, 5 acres.
yeah,
And then for 3 years, he grew, what Falmouth does is, for 3 or 4 years, he grows his, whether it's oysters, scallops, cod, whatever it is, grows for that 5 acres. And
Yeah.
then at the end of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever the town comes up with, they say, okay, now you move over to this area. And then the town opens up
okay,
that 5 acres that he was growing on, the stuff that falls through
yeah,
to recreation. So
yeah.
that people, with a recreational permit can actually go,
So this gives the framework for that to again, the area.
That's why he talks about, if you look, there's a site review report, that's the first part, and then
Yeah.
permitting is, then delineation of agricultural license site. So you come up with areas that make sense to license,
Okay,
and then she would permit those areas. And those areas would be have been permitted in the town of Falmouth's name.
okay,
Town of-
so in this case would be
Town of Scituate.
Town of Scituate.
Town of Scituate, and then the town of Scituate would sublease
Yeah, something to do.
to whoever. That way, the town, Falmouth is in control of all their sites.
Yeah,
So if somebody's not working out,
right.
they can just kind of basically
Do they
break
impose
the lease.
additional fees besides the state?
I don't know how Greg is doing. I didn't get that, I didn't check with Greg on his end of it. I just asked what he did and where he went to, and he got his name.
Mike, we talked about the possibility of suggesting to the selectmen a shellfish commission.
Yeah,
We can all talk about it, or add, maybe one of us, and certainly Steve is on the commission.
yeah,
To then pursue whether we do the, suggest to the selectmen that we do the consultant or the whole
Yeah.
framework of the legality of it.
This is just one way.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of different, different ways to do it. But you just want to have some sort of, what Falmouth said, some sort of controls in place so that people that have these grants work these grants.
Yeah.
If you're not working them,
Yeah.
there is no benefit to the town.
sure.
The benefit is, stat, which is, additional shellfish growing in town just because there's shellfish growing and
Right.
floating around out there and it drops in different areas. And it also cleans up the water,
Yeah.
reduces the nitrogen.
I think we did that. We did write the letter.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it to them. I'll get it this week.
Oh, so was it submitted to them? Okay.
So,
And then, on the financial side, it'd be interesting, if we became a licensee, I'm sure there are regulations, but maybe we can get more than the $25 an acre, whatever it is, per license.
It's a state.
It's a state law.
So whether we're doing it or we sub it, or we direct, or the guy directly does it, doesn't make a difference.
I think what we kind of surmised or decided was the fact that you had a Scituate oyster or a Dexbury
Oh, that's
oyster,
a good thing. yeah.
it is a payback on that.
Right.
And cleaning the Cohasset waters is a great idea, Scituate waters, but it's not as good as it, and some of those other areas have conditional approvals.
Yeah,
North River maybe?
Scituate Harbor right now is prohibited.
Right.
So the only person that can grow in Scituate is the town. Because you can close an area. So I can grow in Scituate Harbor. I can get a license to grow in Scituate Harbor. But then I have to take them and bring them over to the North River, South River, Cohasset, Bass's Beach, which is in Scituate, and plant them there. Keep that area closed, shellfishing for a month, 6 months, a year, whatever the state says, and then open it back up.
And that was based on, again, we might go through the process of possibly permitting Scituate Harbor, right?
Possibly.
There's a
We're in the process, one of the things I had asked to have done, which is being done, is a sanitary survey of Scituate Harbor. Because it's been a number of years, and one of the other issues was, and this was from DMF, it wasn't because, the person wasn't doing a good job. They want somebody that is on the water all the time. And one of the reasons they closed it was because they said if it had to be closed, the person had to be able, it's like right then and there. You gotta stop what you're doing and close it. You can't wait because who's that?
So we'll talk more about that.
So the sanitary study is different than.
Correct.
Yeah.
The sanitary survey is being done through the state.
It is, okay, yeah.
So they go out and do water quality
I was
testing.
gonna say, are they only testing the harbor?
They're testing the rivers in the harbor.
Yeah. The only other question I had was, is there any DMF or any grant monies available for done, the study?
The sanitary survey?
No,
I can check with DMF to see if there's anything available. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. It just depends on, what the hot button is of the day, I guess.
Anything else? Good. Old business?
Comments from anybody? Okay.
Old business? Waterways Enterprise Financials. Fine.
So before we attack this piece, I know Leanne had a list of things, and I just wanted to make sure, Leanne, we closed out your items. They were in your minutes. Yeah. On page 6, the bottom of page 6, I just want to make sure that you're comfortable with that.
That's Seaport Council.
Yeah. So you've got the marine design, that's done. Seaport Council letter, Dave and I did such a great job that they got the grant right away done.
Thread of that letter.
They heard we were gonna write it and they gave you the money. We have to do this more often. Steve sent out the consultant proposal, town council for any, if you want me to work with you on that, I certainly will.
Yeah.
Okay,
That we're gonna leave on there.
that one we're leaving on there. Charter of the enterprise fund for any,
Was it?
there was charter of the enterprise fund.
According to Kathleen, town clerk,
Yep.
and I was talking to Dick Echoes, there's actually no charter for the Waterways Enterprise Fund.
Okay.
I think all we're gonna find is in the harbor study, there's a description of what our function is and what it's all about. That's it.
Okay.
There's no actual charter to speak of.
I think it was, if there's an enterprise fund, it has to follow a certain law.
Right, it follows the law as an enterprise fund,
Okay.
which basically means that it's an enterprise fund, it can't be used for general funds.
Can't be used for anything other than what it was intended.
And we should bring up the harbor study in the future, because that's what
Waterway
that
plan?
is.
The harbor management.
Harbor management,
Right.
the one we talked
Oh,
about.
yeah, so what was it? Right.
That's got the best description of what it is, what it's all about.
Yep.
Officially, there's no charter, which I was very surprised, they were very surprised at. Town hall.
Does anybody know when this enterprise fund got created? Sean, do you know that?
More than 22 years ago.
More than 25 years ago, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. I sent out financial analysis to everybody on here. It's an eye chart, so I'm sure everybody pulled out their magnifying glasses and on.
I tried.
I did. Welcome to Scituate Signs, he's already addressed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I'll just jump right over to the financials. So I did indeed send,
You skipped one that,
of course I did.
personnel expenses for Stephen.
Yeah, and I think you were gonna look at your seasonal, I think there was a tie-in on the seasonals.
Yep.
And I believe you and I discussed that.
Yeah, we did.
Right? And I incorporated it to here.
Okay.
So what I sent out to all the team members were two things that are based upon information received from Nancy Holt on June 15th, and then again this week. I had some questions, and because of year end and also a payroll conversion, Nancy asked me to wait until right after the 1st. So I did. And there's still some outstanding issues. Nancy got them to me today. And I did put them into the master Excel. And what we have on the information I sent out to everybody showed year-to-date expenses and revenue through 6/14. So the good news is it looks like revenue is up slightly and expenses are flat or a little bit up. She's going to run this for us one more time, now that the year's closed. Once all outstanding purchase orders are accounted for, since there already reserved money for them, and then we'll actually have the actual numbers. But the net is, I did that, and I also did a year-over-year analysis, primarily for you, Mike.
Yeah.
That gave you a feeling for what the growth on expenses side and what the growth on revenue. And really the big driver on revenue was the marina user fee when we changed it a few years back.
Waterways user fee.
Yeah, the waterways user fee, that was probably somewhere in the vicinity of an $8,000 kicker.
Yeah.
On the revenue side, so that's a one-time event, obviously not going to be repeated.
Right.
On the expense side, it seems to be that, again, no matter how I flavor this, expenses are outstripping revenue by a factor. And so on the Excel that I built, there's a way for people to manipulate the revenue numbers and the expenses, whether it's 2%, 5%, and that's what I ran on here. I ran revenue increases at 2 and expenses at 5. On the second PDF that I sent out to everybody, I ran out the committed projects that Nancy has, so both boat and dredging the South River. And then Steve's capital plan calls out for about $2 million over the next 5 years. We pulled the boat out of that, it becomes 1.6. And when I made the assumption that 20% of that would be coming out of either retained earnings or the cash flow that the waterways.
Operational project.
Exactly. So, and I took a look at the historical numbers, and historically, Steve, not Steve, but the Harbor Master's office is spending probably about $120,000 over the past 6 years annually on projects. So, for example, last year it was the ice years and the electrical pilings for $140. So the number I took of the $300,000, you take the $1.6 million, multiply by 20%, that's $320,000. Run it out, straight line over 5 years, that's $69,000 a year. It's a fair number, I think, when I look at the historical $100,000+. So when I do that, on the information I sent out to you guys, we start deducting out of retained earnings beginning in fiscal year 20, so next year, right? And it continues year over year over year over year. That's with the assumption of 2 and 5, 2% growth on revenue, 5% growth on expenses. Historically, that's the numbers we seem to be averaging.
Yeah.
So point of consideration that we need to have the discussion is ways to increase top line revenue through any activities that we can squeeze out of the harbor. Obviously, the simple one is the slip fees, taking a look at that, but there's other things as well on the table that we should take a look at to try to squeeze, whether it's new marketing opportunities or other things to try to squeeze more revenue out of the harbor. And then on the expense side, once I get Nancy's final numbers, Steve's committed with me to take a look at it, because the big one is the big four, which is the personal services, the purchase of services, the materials and supplies, and indirect costs. Indirect costs had a big hit. Last year, it was almost a $20,000 increase from high 50s to $77,000, $78,000, and it's primarily because I think of health plan contribution.
what?
Health plan contribution.
Insurance?
Yeah, there's a change in that. And so that's not a minor blip, that's gonna go back down, because historically it's been running in the mid-50s, high 40s, mid-50s.
So we have no control.
So we don't.
Those
$78,000 and it's gonna straight line out back.
You have no control.
Right? So, anyway, so the net here is, that's, once I get Nancy's final numbers, I'll then redistribute it out to everybody.
Yeah.
And then if you want to play with revenue increases and expense increases, they can to their heart content. You just change two of the cells and it'll ripple out through the whole
Just
formula.
just the Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah,
versus the PDF.
which is what I would have to
Yeah,
write,
yeah.
the PDF, you obviously can't do it, right?
Yeah.
But running them, no matter how, I've looked at these, I spent countless hours on this stuff. No matter how I run this thing, at some point we need to address the expenses.
So you're saying starting next year, based on the projections of spending $65,000 or $70,000 a year out of operations and for capital plan, and that we would not be contributing to retained earnings, we would be basically a negative cash flow.
Negative 47,000,
Right, starting next year.
starting next year.
When
At
we
2 and
want to
5,
achieve-
at 2 and 5.
That's only 1 year down the road, so.
That would be July 1 of next year, so 1 year from today, that fiscal year, that is correct.
So, and I thought a goal would be to hopefully contribute an additional $50,000 each year to retained earnings.
Well,
That-
you need-
that's a goal.
Did you look under your pillow?
We have been,
I'd like that goal too.
we have been doing that, right? I mean,
Historically, yes, we have. And there's no reason that, when we take a look at this, that this is not a situation where we're like a bunch of lemmings and we're gonna fall off the cliff, right? There requires some adjustments, whether it's on the expense side or the revenue side, right? I know you have a thought on this, Mike.
Well, no, it's not, it actually has to do more with timing than
Okay.
actual. We got caught up last year, this is the last of this fiscal year sort of meeting, and then we have the no August meeting planned, and then we get right into it. My concern is just to make sure that whatever is planned is discussed and vetted and put forward in enough time to implement.
That's a very good
Because-
point. That's a very good point, because if we were to raise or propose a raising of fees, we would have to do the proper due diligence of alerting the shareholder members, in other words, the mariners, people who pay
Patrons.
to come in, and we would have to have a meeting. So in order for bills to go out, which is February, March, For the slips.
We send them out, we send the deposits out in October, yeah.
So that could be alerted.
for right gas.
Well, that's an issue, what Steve also found out is a lot of people will throw that $400 at us and then not come through at the end.
No, but the $400 is a $400 deposit, $400, everybody gets $400, correct?
Everybody,
Yeah.
Right.
Every slip.
Every
So,
slip.
so we would have to notify people that there could be a pending rate increase.
Yeah.
And this rate increase, when I've looked at it, which I have, would be, my recommendation, obviously, is many more people, more selectmen as well, who would be involved in this,
Right.
would be over years.
Yeah.
It would not be a one-time hit.
X.
Well, we did have a consultant come in, and we
That's
spent money for a consultant to tell us that basically we were behind, and that we should start, or seriously consider starting an increased program. Whether it be $10 a year or $30 what we thought we were behind. But obviously, we're not going to do it with $30, but that would go probably half the people in the marina.
Right.
No,
But it's something we do
But-
have to.
and when I run a $10 increase annually, that then we're back on even footing.
$75,000 or so for every $10.
That's correct. Oh, that's correct.
Yeah, if you did 10 over,
Right.
10
So
over 10.
today, we're 100 for a Scituate resident and 140 for out-of-town, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
What's the breakdown? Did any concept?
It's
It's
about
90-10,
90-10.
right? Okay.
90 feet.
90 being Scituate, obviously.
Right.
And some people from, kind of on Scituate, South Scituate way.
Yeah.
Dave, no.
South Scituate. The South Common up there. Yeah, we're good,
Right,
along with Surridge.
right. So I will have all these numbers back out, and whether we have an August meeting or not, which I assume we'll probably not have an August meeting. I will certainly still send this information out, welcome to this information, once I get Nancy's final.
Brian, thank you very much.
Yeah, I think what you put together was great. I think you a lot. I didn't have a lot of time today, but I think you were a little bit tonight before I came.
Well, I was just thinking out, like after the post selectment meeting last night, so 10 o'clock last night, I didn't realize that,
Yeah.
not to be able to remove it.
No, we have some good columns that literally just change the percentage, it'll show you, I mean, it's obviously very good
Yeah.
in Excel.
Yeah.
You know, you just change that number from 2 to 3.
Yeah.
My only other last point, Brian,
Sure.
that would be to consider adding sort of an inflationary thing to it, so that
Each year,
it doesn't have to be revisited.
Oh,
each year.
okay, so.
Yeah, after the
In
year.
other words, if you get it to the if you get it to the adjustment point that you like,
Yeah.
consider doing 1 or 2%. The problem has been, because it's been such a long period of time, people may think it's injurious to, or punitive, or some other way. The better way to do it is to just have it, you know, COLA. You can have a COLA, you can have it, whatever, but just don't wait another 12 years to
So when was the last time,
12 years.
I know fees were reduced here, but when was the last time fees were increased
I think it
at
was-
Cole Parkway?
I think it was in 2004.
Four?
It went from 90 to 100 or something?
Yeah, 2004.
On this side. it's
On this side, it went down in
No, no, not this side,
2007.
the other side.
2004, that's what I thought.
It was 90.
Okay.
That's one of them.
And 2004 sounds about right.
Yeah, so if over that period of time, there was on 4%, 6%, it wouldn't be as onerous or suspicious.
But speaking as a devil's advocate a little bit, just, you know, from the water, from the big picture sort of thing. So what year was this taken over? 2006?
2008, 2009? Still,
Okay,
right?
so the harbor master's office is an operation, right? All of a sudden, we had 100 new slips, 2,500 new feet, $250 new $1,000.
All the slips were rented previously. They weren't new slips.
New revenue to the town. So $250,000 of new revenue to the Waterways Enterprise Fund. This was a private marina, right? When the town bought it,
And it was taken off the tax rolls.
No, I think he's going in a different direction.
Okay.
Chance point, go ahead.
no, so that goes right. So we lost $50,000 a year of tax, whatever it was from the town. But the operation of the Waterways Enterprise Fund netted not only $100,000 plus or minus from Boatworks here, but another $250,000 of new revenue, brand new revenue.
Yeah.
I know that comes with expenses, maybe more assistant harbor masters, certainly maintenance on the docks.
They had to pay the nut too.
And I think we're.
They had to pay the mortgage on.
Yeah.
And that's continuing, that's a new expense, and that's continuing, but, you know, I think it's almost done, right? 6 or 7 years?
I think 21.
21 will be
Yeah.
done, but that's $350,000 new dollars
Yeah.
came into the enterprise.
Yeah.
So, you know, why did we increase fees on the marina? Because this is a zero-sum game, right? We just need enough money in to add to retained earnings to help pay for capital expenses, and that's it. So we didn't need new revenue back then.
Right.
Even though the cost of lumber went up, cost of labor went up, harbor master's salary goes up, all that.
And it,
Happens.
right, overall expenses went up.
Right, but we had that big boost in revenue, and that wasn't $350,000 a year. So to buy, I think it was 5.6 million or something, we bought this place for over 20 years, something like that, so we were 5.4 million. So it's just a
Good comments. The only other thing I would say is-
$350,000.
Right. The only other thing I would say is that 5% growth year over year on expenses
Yeah.
is really unattainable for any kind of business, right? Unless you have the ability to really kind of ramp your revenue up.
Right, if your revenue's going forward, then that 5% is a very comfortable number.
And we should look at all those expenses. I mean, Steve's doing a great job managing them.
Yeah.
And he's talking about seasonal salaries not being high enough because they've been level for 10
Right.
years or
So
whatever it's been.
we did see a big bump up in the last couple of years because the Scituate Police has got an X number of dollars in their labor.
That's something to be
getting flagged
discussed
to it,
too.
Right, right. And then, I know we've moved to kind of two people on the boats now, right? So you get an increase in personnel costs for that. So there's a couple things that have contributed that I think that bumped it up for a few years, right?
Yeah.
But I don't see the line continuing, you know, from a 5% year over year over year. That becomes a huge.
Yeah, so Mike, there's some things that are hard to project in that.
Right.
For example, 6 years ago, it was virtually impossible to predict
Yeah.
a 20% increase on health,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But it whacked us.
Yeah.
So one of the things is we don't know what expenses are going to come up in 3 to 5 years.
Right. Yeah.
So trying to cut down on a number that historically has proven to be pretty accurate. You know, I look at a 5-year window from 12 to 17 or from 18 going backwards. So
Yeah.
when I look at them as opposed to small sample sizes of year over year over year, I look at them in groups of 5, it's
Yeah.
pretty consistent.
Mhm.
There are things we have to take a look at on the expense side to see
Yeah.
whether or not we can pump the brakes and help Stephen in that space.
I guess that's my
Right.
point, is that we can't continue to have 5%
No.
growth in expenses year over
No.
year, because it just doesn't,
Yeah.
just look back at 2012, and look at the expense lines back then, what the business looked like, what the harbor master's budget and votes and everything else looked like, and look at what it is now, it's been soaring, right?
Yeah.
So we gotta have some sort of, you know, control on kind of making sure that that it isn't 5% year over year over year over year.
So once we eliminate debt service, which
Yeah.
we know that's going to fluctuate, right?
Right, yeah,
It's the big 4,
yeah,
and we already discussed the indirect costs,
right.
so it's the other 3.
Mhm.
The big 4 account for plus of 80%
Right,
of his operating expenses, a little more actually,
80% of it, yeah,
oh yeah, a little more.
yeah. That makes
So-
sense,
It's the big, so it's the 3 that Stephen, you know, will take a look at.
yeah.
We'll run the Nancy will in, pull it out, we'll take a look at it and figure out whether there's any anomalies, whether or not there's, you know, a multi-year expense that may disappear that we can then react to.
Yeah.
But right now, these numbers are really large and they're grouped all together and we need them spread out so we can take a look at them
Yep.
and understand better, right?
Yeah.
So again, not to jump all around, but, you know, fuel expenses. Fuel expenses are going up this year, they were lower last
They
year.
were last,
Right.
last year they were lower, and 2 years ago they were.
Right, so now someone gonna be looking at that next year, so we just look like year over year, we're gonna see the spikes, and we're gonna say, how do we adjust the fuel?
Right, yeah.
So,
But the big ones are always probably gonna be the big ones, you know what I mean?
big ones are gonna be debt service, seasonal salaries, right, personal services, salaries,
Yeah,
and material costs, those are the purchase of services, those 4 right there are the killers.
And we get some major rebuilding coming in.
And the capital plan, to put back in there. We've got-
The docks at Cole Parkway, you see them there.
yeah.
Which then comes back to the fact that if we're doing something that's for the benefit of obviously the users, then our rate increase is not beyond a reasonable.
Yeah, brand new
Right,
review.
brand new docks,
Yeah.
Yeah. Understood.
right? So,
Excellent.
Good work.
Great, good deal.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
sure.
Marine contract update, that
Let's,
kind of start because we haven't.
we're gonna send it to county council, right? You and I,
So that's,
got it?
Is that actually nice?
No, it's going to be sent. Oh, I'm sorry, there's one other item, that, UMass, Dartmouth professor.
oh yeah,
I finally did sync up with Nora Barnes, the professor down there. Their expertise is more on the consumer side, so for the audience, I'm sorry, she did a study showing the benefits, Mike and I went through this, shellfish aquaculture to the local economy. And that was for every $1 in revenue, there was a $1.79 spin-off of the ancillary economic benefit. And I wanted to find out, is that ancillary benefit within the town confines or is that state or nationwide? And she said to me it's more statewide, but she's more on the consumer side, as I said, and her expertise is marketing. She said she'd be more than willing to hop on a conference call with us.
Yeah.
When I said Scituate, and she reacted like I was asking her to drive 400 miles. That's just kidding. But she'd be available to do it, but again, I think when I headed down that road, I thought she was more on the grower side.
Right.
That could give us a lot more information. On top of it, they use an IMAP software plan that their license expired a couple of years ago. So to run any type of simulations or programs for us, they would not be able to do it. She could connect it with somebody else, but at that point, I moved off of it. So I just wanted to give everybody a quick update on that. As well, I should have done it during the shelter's time, I'm sorry.
Okay, in addition to that, a little bit, I've been going to the Economic Development Commission meetings, and Brad Wackburn wants to build us.
Yes, he
I
does.
knew that, but they want to extend a little bit more than where we are now on the harbor walk, which is part of our harbor study plan.
The one-way transit plan, yes.
So there'll be a lot. They have a fairly good budget. It looked to me like they had a hard time spending it this year. So, I mean, we would do well to talk to them about extending and continuing with the harbor study plan and the harbor walk that John and Howie get going back in the,
And continue it
right.
over Edward Foster, right down over
Right.
here.
So, I mean, that's something we want to keep our eyes on. They got
That'd
a
be great.
good group, and they want to work with the other groups, and I think it would move.
So that's Amber Mud's group?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just want to throw that out, and everybody know that that's going to be coming up. That'll be part.
Okay.
Brad is asking for an audience, probably get them in September.
Just a quick comment, Fran. Seaport Advisor historically has been very, very positive on harbor walks. They've given money to Salem, several different towns they've gone to, so that's a resource maybe we'll tap in the future. The Seaport, they like harbor walks, they like funding them.
John, are there any Chapter 91 implications in that regard?
It depends what you want to do. We have thoughts, it may be just for that reason, but putting it from the Edmund Foster Road Bridge, like a boardwalk across the water, across the marsh would be great to have. I mean, some towns do that, really, you see it down at Sandwich, but I'm not sure if that's even possible. That's a question to start with conservation and see if that's even feasible. But that was a thought, one of the thoughts. But obviously, coming up the road around the corner here, that road's atrocious, someone's gonna get killed there, so we have to provide some safe access as people walk and bike ride around the corner here up on Edward Foster Road. So there's several options to look at, but I think conservation would be a good start.
Great.
Any other thoughts on that? Any new business?
Can I speak on
I
that?
do. Oh, sorry, sure, go ahead, sir.
Whatever time is appropriate.
Whatever new business, we can take it out, Keith.
I'd like to,
Yeah, can you identify yourself for me, Ann, please?
I'm sorry?
Identify yourself.
My name is Keith Goldman on 28 Central Avenue, Vermont. I'd like to request a few minutes on the agenda of the next meeting. The Division of Waterways segregates their regulations into regulations for privately owned tidelines or publicly owned tidelines. Scituate is not. And the situation has come up with myself, but I think it affects a lot of, I know from now, it affects a lot of other people, where we've had just to be very brief about it, we've had a vote on the rear of our property, on our own property, since 1941. And all of a sudden, we came back to vote there in the amount. And it's on property that we own, it's highlands that we own. We own, the tag goes out, it's set on the bottom, but we own the property. And we can't have a mooring. I did apply for a mooring, I said we're on a waiting list. It just isn't fair. I'd like to see if we can amend the regulations to accommodate people like myself, and quite a few others in the South River, at least, and I don't know what the North River is.
You want that at the September meeting?
What's that?
Would you like to come in and present it at the September meeting?
Yep.
Well, so we want to discuss it.
Put it on the agenda, so anyone's interested can come talk.
We really have to have it.
All right. Okay, so we'll put it on the September agenda.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. New business. Any other new business?
Yeah, I do. Do you want to?
I do. But I'll let you go first, please.
All right. Michael Beers had approached me the other day and said that the dinghies, for the dinghy list for the marinas is an old list. He's having trouble with the list, and what he's proposed, what he thought he'd like to have Waterways look at would be to have the dinghy list be the same type of process as the slips for the town marinas, right?
Pretty awesome.
Right, get it on the same system, and I don't know why it's not, maybe it was just done that way in the past. So I don't want to have the discussion tonight, because it's new business, but I just wanted to see if we could add that to the agenda for for the September of the next meeting.
It makes assignments a lot easier.
Yeah, and I think it would give you a chance to kind of look into it. I don't know if this for you,
I don't, I don't,
what it was and why it was that way.
The list, the waiting list for names, I guess, is legendary. It's so long and arduous as far as.
Right, but trying to get through. The problem is too, is that it's very long and outdated, so we've got to do some, if it's gonna change, we've got to do some sort of public posting to people to let them know because the process changed. But he's having trouble getting to the people that are on the list because the information that's there from contacts is so old.
And
that they're not, and they're not interested, so.
probably
moving
6
down
and 7 numbers.
Yeah, so, anyway, I wanted to bring it up so we could get it added to the agenda for the next meeting to discuss.
That'd be good.
That'd be great, that'd be great.
Yeah. Mike's doing a great job on that list with the more.
Yes.
He's found his coming.
Fine.
So I have two things. One is, I don't mean to surprise everyone in the committee, but I pulled together a letter that I'd like the Waterways Committee to consider sending to the town administrator in support of, and you can recuse yourself on this, Steve, Steve's activity over the past year. We've between the rules and mooring regulation, the de-icers, we've had a lot of activity. We certainly chased our tail on some of the meetings with the rules and regulations, so rather got caught up in that, which really prevented us from doing some other things. But in the background, Steve was doing a really great job, I feel, in terms of his team. The major project on the de-icers, being out there in the middle of the night and early in the morning on weekends, making sure that we didn't lose our assets, as well as the ability to move forward with the piling project across the way. So if people can review what I sent, I certainly can send it to them electronically. If there's no objections, either I will send it on behalf of the Waterways or on behalf of myself. But I would like the Waterways Committee to review and give some consideration to it. So people, if they would, they can circle back to me on this one and let me know their decisions. And I'll email it out to Keith and, I'm sorry, Keith and, Dave, right, okay? And the other, that ties in, the reason I'm doing this is because obviously we have 4 new members, and I thank them for attending tonight, and, well, except for Howie, who obviously, you know, gets nominated and elected, decides to go to Maine. But I really want to thank personally Michael, Keith, Brian, and Fran. It's a lot of work, just being a member, being a chairman, which you 2 gentlemen were, is a ton of time, and it's really, it's a volunteer effort, and it's a lot of effort, and I just want to thank you guys for all your work over the past 6 years, 3 years, and 3 years, and Keith, 9 years. And thank you very much for your efforts. I really appreciate it. I think I speak for everybody on the committee. So thank you very much.
The only other thing I would add on that is that I like the letter, and I'm certainly agree with it, but I think in order to...
Oh, you want me to put in everybody that might disagrees?
No. Well, I think we just need to add it on to the next agenda so that we can just take a quick...
Okay. Yeah, what I was wanting to do is I wanted it to be...
No.
I wanted it to be from us because the new 4 guys coming out have not had the opportunity to work with Steve as intimately as we have.
I'm ready to vote now, if you just, I mean,
If
Steve.
you want me to add something to it, I will.
I think we should let everybody, you know, the other 2 guys should have some involvement too.
I don't think you can vote on anything that's not on the...
It should be on the agenda or also.
I mean, it has to be before you can... Even though I think we probably all agree, it has to be on the agenda before you can do a vote on anything, so...
Okay.
The new guys wouldn't be able to vote, so that's 4, so 5 of us can vote on this.
Who's the 5?
5, well, Steve wouldn't vote.
Steve would not vote. Steve would like to vote. He'd like to send a letter himself.
Even though I'm sure everyone would agree, it just has to be something.
Yeah.
Or even though everyone would agree,
Why don't they do it?
Yeah, but no,
Because they
still vote.
They can vote, that's true.
Okay.
yeah.
And it'll be a test of their ability to go along with Steve if they vote no.
provide us monthly credit. So, zoning board of appeals has a hearing on July 19th at 7:30 to talk about the South River dredging project. So, hope, I'm unable to attend the previous commitment, but I hope everybody else, or some members of the waterways can.
And where is that again?
It's at the, up at the selectmen's meeting, meeting hall.
What's it about specific?
The judge, right?
Yes, South River dredging,
Can I ask one question about that, since we're talking about new business? At what point would we have an estimate of price for that project?
The dredging project?
Yes.
That's a lead.
We have $200,000 approved to spend, that's it right now. Marshfield has zero, if you want to understand.
We really won't get an idea until we get the engineering companies involved to
Right.
let us know how much.
So we, out of that 200, we already
There's
spent.
more material now than there was
Absolutely.
3 years ago.
200 is only half.
There's more material now than there was after January 4th.
That's right.
And then after March.
18, right.
I don't speak
It
for
could be
the
the new
rest
harbor
of
water.
but
Huh?
That would be the new harbor water. All built in.
Considering the building we're building.
he's just not chatty.
David?
I just had a question. Is there any talk of dredging this harbor at all? Is that even on anybody's radar at this point?
I did, there was one of the permits, most of the permit, or all the permits had expired but one for Scituate Harbor. And
One for over a year?
I extended it for another 5 years.
That's just this corner.
That's just the corner. The rest of them were expired before I started.
So David,
But I know-
you're more talking about the other side of Cole Parkway with the ramp by the lobster?
Yeah, down back there. I mean, that place is.
And even out in front of the mill wharf,
Yeah,
um,
that shoulder.
I know Jeff Carver's boat came in last year, took pictures of it to get a location, and when it was sitting there.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of places that sort of have been ignored for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Over by,
Where the creek, where the creek unloads there, I mean, you can run aground there in the skiff. It's bad.
That's increased a lot in the last couple of years.
And I mean, it's only been a couple of years, and that's really, I don't know if it's all that wash over Peggy that's flushing stuff down or
There's a lot to
what.
do with it, I'll bet you.
That's a
Probably
good point.
isn't
We should
helping.
put that
Probably
on,
isn't
that's not on a
helping.
capital plan at all.
Right.
That dredging.
Yeah.
well, there's also other areas in town.
So which dredging are you talking about, this one or that one?
The harbor, wherever it needs it.
Well, it's
How about,
rather global.
Right,
I wanted to give you more finance, so,
yeah,
right? So I agree that over here, if we did over here, it would be a revenue payback by probably being able to add additional capacity, correct?
Yeah, but David's
But-
a much better position.
But that's a safety issue over there.
Well, that's a
For
revenue
lots of
payback,
people, right?
fishermen are the ones who get us all of our dredging.
Right,
If we didn't have fishermen, we wouldn't get any dredging money, so we gotta.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
And it does,
That's why
it
David's
gets tight
in it.
there around the corner, but we gotta come around, you gotta really hug up close to your docks. And I don't know, when you guys put in the pilings and stuff, if that whole marina's gonna get a little bit bigger.
It's gonna stay in about the
Stay
same,
pretty much the
it's
same
gonna stay in the same footprint right now.
Because I wouldn't wanna be tied up on that.
Question,
Close to
which
that corner,
footprint,
it gets pretty snug.
The one that kind of stuff.
Right.
David Duffy.
I was Dave just hit on it. When that marina gets nailed down and you don't have that moving the way it does, that could be probably 6 or 8 feet of movement. I don't know exactly what that is on any given wind or tide.
It depends on how low the tide is or how high the tide is.
That's right at what they call P-Town there. There's a big lip right there and it goes right around the corner. And if you go on Google Earth, you can actually see where all that sediment comes out from the Peggy Beach washover out of that Edward Foster Bridge. It comes out and it's a big delta out there. It's just a big.
There's a few areas that could, like over there, over on the other side of CDOT, and in front of the middle wharf.
Yeah. So just as long as they're on the radar and that they're on the list of it.
That's why I was taking pictures.
Yeah.
John Murphy.
The town meeting passed $90,000 for the area over here, probably about 7 or 8 years ago, to be dredged. we put it out to bid, nobody took it because it's such a small job and to mobilize, but that was funded, $90,000, I'm not sure what happened.
I don't know if that money's still there, or if that went back into the enterprise.
I don't think I remember going back to the enterprise fund. I
They
remember
call it
the-
authorized but unissued, and I think it got used somewhere else, right?
No, I think it's still there.
Not used somewhere else, it got either.
I don't-
Turn back in.
Returned back in, right?
I think it
Because you don't have too many authorized and unissued because it affects your debt.
I don't think you can change that without a town meeting vote. But the second part of this is, we got from DCR in this building about, it was either 2010 or 2011, we got $50,000 for design and engineering of the South River entrance. They have that dredge. I'm not sure what happened to
That's-
that, but that was supposed to.
That's what we've been using that money for the South River Dredge.
Engineering.
The DCR money, that's what we've been spending.
Okay.
Right, I'm looking at the unissued authorized debt, John, and it's not on here. What's on here is the Harbor River dredging for $200,000 passed in 2015, replacing Unit 3 in 2018, and an old one which Nancy indicates has to come off, which is the Marine Park Recreational Facility, which is an article from 2007.
Oh,
And Nancy indicated that one would come off.
how much was that one?
280,000.
Oh, okay. So that's not it.
That was for additional work over in this project.
For some recreational, some.
Well, this is recreation.
Yeah.
No,
John, do you
this-
remember what that might have been for?
Extra money.
I think we were talking about
This over here?
possibly expansion. When we first did this whole park, with the walkway along the cars here, about expanding out into this.
And it was supposed to be a viewing area, a viewing stand over
Viewing
the
pier we
corner.
had down here, with some more recreational areas down here, but they were talking about the town possibly buying a big parcel over here. We never really materialized, but I think that was something to carry on the recreational space going that way.
That's what that was for.
That was that for?
Yeah.
Well, that Nancy indicated is, it's an error for it to be on here, that's off. So,
Anyone else? New business? The motion to adjourn?
1 second.
Oh.
If I could, I'm sorry.
Squeeze me.
Get you back. Just, I wanted to add on, expand on what Brian said. It's really difficult for the five of us to appoint people when you have good people on a committee or commission. And this commission has been the most popular commission in the last 20 years that I can remember. So many people from all different backgrounds want to get on. And I remember going back as far as a guy, Jim Casey, a long, long time ago. We, the 3-year, the 6-year rule and so forth, so we kept him on. So we always make exceptions and so forth. But the Board of Selectmen wants to thank every one of you guys that have served and not coming back on, and want to encourage everyone to still participate, to be involved. Everyone brings something different to this table, that's for sure. Thank you very, very much. Everyone does. There'll be letters going out. But Brian beat me to it. I wanted to say it myself. And this is, if you watch our meetings, some of the appointments are very easy. There's one appointment for, one opening, one candidate. This wasn't the case here at all. So it was, many times, it was tough. It was a tough decision last night to make the decisions we made, but certainly encourage all of you people to continue to be involved. And we really thank you a lot. This town would not be what it is without this harbor, and because of people like yourselves. I really mean that. Thank you very much.
here, here.
I think the people who end up on the waterways, they're doing it mainly because they do love the harbor and the whole situation. It's not like, we're getting a big paycheck, it's something you really have a lot of feeling for. So I think we're always going to have some good people interested in getting involved, which is
I hope
okay.
so.
I think we got a lot of stuff done in the past few years. Well,
I can remember days, using Steve's position, for example, David, John, and you guys that have been around here for a long time, just makes me think that the harbor master's role 30 years ago, when I was first beginning to town at the pier, was far different than it is today.
And my truck shed on the,
That's
right
right.
on the pier when you drove in.
That's right, John Fenton was the guy, and
and you sign up for warrants, and that was basically it. And over time, like every other position in town hall, I don't care if it's a DPW director, engineers, so much more is expected of that person, and that Steve's position is just a perfect example of this. The role, the job that he has to do now compared to 35 years ago is just night and day. So it's just.
I had dark hair when I started 3 years ago.
I had here.
Stole my line.
I am standing.
Can I entertain a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Sorry.
All in favor?
Thank you very